What's up, you cinema maniacs, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I have something a little bit out of the norm. It is George A. Romero's 1981 Under the Radar classic. Guys, this one's a gem. It is Knightriders. And if you think you've seen everything, you haven't seen it all unless you've seen this flick. Let's not waste any more time and get into it. Here is Knightriders. Knightriders is an extremely unorthodox cinematic treat, supercharged with a wild premise and solidified by an exceptional cast of George Romero regulars. Revved up by an extreme high-octane lifestyle and expressing an astute amount of character, this obscure little gem packs quite a unique punch, as it whisks us up into a cinematic world that is truly like no other. Out of all of George Romero's films, Knightriders is by far his most original, and after witnessing this outrageous flick, you'll feel the same way. The film follows the exploits of a traveling band of motorcycle performers, led by the courageous and often troubled Billy. Immersed in their world of medieval sights and chivalry-induced delights, the group lives by a strict moral code. That is until they begin to be tested when the Renaissance act starts to wear thin for a few members of the group, and the troubles of being a renegade traveling style circus comes to a head. Can Billy the King keep the gang together, or has he pushed himself, his subjects, and his ideals too far for any sane person to follow? Ed Harris takes on the highly enthralling and surprisingly demanding role of Billy, the king of this ragtag group of performing miscreants. Harris absolutely wows in the central role, as he puts all of himself into the character. You feel every strife-ridden moment he goes through, and the pressure that his character is experiencing can be felt in every scene and in every heartfelt outburst he performs. He's wild and savage in his portrayal, yet the adamant morality that his character stands for and stands behind is rather impressive, making for an overall cinematic atmosphere that has a hell of a lot of heart and soul. Filling in the rest of the cast is a who's who of cult classic Pittsburgh actors, who all inject that unique Pennsylvanian style of filmmaking into this wonderful production. The memorable players of this medieval masterpiece are Gary Lottie as Alan, Billy's right-hand man and loyal knight-at-arms; Tom Savini as Morgan, a rough-and-tumble motorhead with aspirations of fame and fortune; Amy Ingersoll as Lady Lynette, Billy's ethereal queen and ravishing beauty; Patricia Tallman as Julie, a local young lady who falls head over heels for Alan and the high-octane lifestyle he leads; Christine Forrest as Angie, the timid motorcycle mechanic and lover of the rapscallion Morgan; Warner Shook as Pippin, announcer of the games and heartfelt thespian soul searcher; Brother Blue as Merlin, the eclectic physician and spiritual compass for the traveling group; and finally John Hostetter as Tuck, a boisterous performer who parties for the Lord. With a long, outstanding cast like this, how could you go wrong? Not to mention the energized performance of a few more Romero regulars, like John Amplis, Ken Foree, Scott Reitiger, Harold Wayne Jones, and Anthony DeLeo Jr. As for the overall tone and atmosphere of Knightriders, the film is an absolute hoot of unabashed stunt sequences and tremendously heartfelt moments of spiritual reflection, all wrapped up in a complete package of total entertainment. The cast wows with tremendous vigor, and the overall premise of a traveling motorcycle renaissance fair is too wild not to be engaging. Though the concept is completely out of left field, the execution of these wild elements is a thing of obscure beauty. If you've somehow missed this George Romero gem, or just let it pass you by because of its silly premise, then you owe it to yourself to give this one a shot. It's ridiculously entertaining and has a surprising amount of heart for such a strange flick. In the end, Knightriders is an enthralling spectacle of outrageous proportions that you just can't miss. And there you have it, lords and ladies, the outrageous and out-of-control flick, Knightriders. Probably one of my favorite George Romero flicks that is not a zombie film would be Knightriders. It is just really crazy. The premise is all over the place. It's odd, unusual, but it has a hell of a lot of heart, and that's all comes together in one beautiful package. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have any time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then, I will see you with the next movie review. Take care.